Dear folks, we're continuing with Bibi and with Matze. Matzo, Mani Bi Matze.
Hello everyone, sending you all my best.
And with Test of Time, the new big mega update for Civilization 7, we're playing a game so you don't have to play Civ 7. No, by giving you a little insight into what the update has brought. And we're trying to present the topic to you in a somewhat professional and knowledgeable way. We're live on Twitch. Thanks to Top Crapper for the very first subscription. Can we get some flowers in the chat for you? Thank you for your loyal support here. And let's move on. One more round. So far we have one little town, which is Cusco. We've discovered a friendly city-state and representatives of an evil city-state that we still need to get to know in detail. It disappears above. Somewhere in the north, let's follow it. And it stands on something that we'd like to loot. Those are ruins. Let's see what kind of ruins these are. Question for Matze. If you were to sift through the ruins yourself. Or run. See, they're ruins. Thumbs up, route? Oder ist das mittlerweile a click routine from far out to test strategies and tactics? To test that?
Actually, I zoom in really close very often. I always enjoy it when a new building is constructed or when units are fighting or something like that. And then I look at it from all angles because I'm so excited about it and I really want to lose myself in this world. And I really appreciate that we're not just in the strategy overview. That happens too, of course, but especially at the beginning of the game, I really savor that.
Tell me, what does the little green plus sign here mean?
Yes, that's now the way we can better see what is a bonus resource that can be placed in both villages and cities. That's the green plus. Then there's also a blue city symbol, which we saw, for example, with the salt resource. I can only place that in cities. And then there's also an orange hex tile symbol, which we have with gold. That means I can't slot the resource at all. That's an empire-wide resource, which simply gives its bonus to all our cities or to our civilization as a whole.
Very nice. Thanks to Abraxam for the 29th subscription, thanks for the wishes, and thanks also to Fisu for the 63rd sub. Hi. So, and here I would follow the coastline for now because we're looking for spots. Oh right, we have to go in here and see what's inside. A remote market town has been repeatedly raided by bandits. A few residents believe they can rebuild, but most agree that they would feel safer in the cities. So welcome the merchants, more food, more production, or a big boost to satisfaction? Since we just left out happiness, I think I'll choose it now because the 10 production isn't that much in my opinion. That's probably not even one turn yet, is it? One turn of production, and 2 turns of food. What would you take? Because you can often justify both in March.
You can definitely justify both. Actually, if you don't want to make it immersive, I would go with the soldiers and take the happiness in this case. It's over 10 rounds of income that we get from this, and we'll be able to unlock our celebration much faster, which we need to improve our government. That's especially useful early in the game.
We're currently at 6 happiness in the positive, plus 575, so that's roughly about 10 rounds, which is pretty impressive. We decide to send soldiers to hunt down the raiders and gain happiness from it. And another turn goes by. So, next production. You always build a brickworks. We could get a warrior in case we get attacked, but we don't see any units nearby. That seems excessive. I'd stick with the brickworks. And God mats are new plus signs with lots and lots of tiles around them. That's the number of buildings you can build per slot. If it's semi-transparent and appears grayed out, there's just 1 slot available. That's displayed. One slot is free, one is occupied, same up here in the front.
Exactly. And since we already have, well, a warehouse building there with the granary, and by doing that, we fill both spots and are centrally located in the field next to our capital. Do we then get an extra science and culture as a reward for that? That's 10%, so it could be worth it.
So, and? We'll walk a bit further, we'll go for a swim. Getting to the other side is tough, but now that I'm here, I'm moving forward. We could also... Can he go up the rivers? I think so, right? We'll take that one upriver, then take a look. Two types of rivers in Civ 7, the regular ones, the small ones like this here, and then the navigable ones. Those are the slightly wider ones. So we're looking for places where we can settle. Let's move. Anderspeer is coming from the west. We'll move him towards Engel. Nothing.
We're actually starting to get into a bit of tropical terrain, which is what we were looking for, with mountains wonderful.
Look here, Kota Emata Dibura, one that's not friendly towards us. Independent village. Here you also need 170 influence to start getting them to befriend us. Hard work is being done here. I think they're digging in, right? The soldiers.
Yeah, that's always done whenever our unit gets close. Then the AI says maybe they want to do something bad to us, so they quickly dig in. Exactly.
For a strategy game, that looks great, especially the detailed modeling. By the way, that reminds me of another very beautiful 4X strategy game, which is also visually very impressive. There was an announcement today for Age of Wonders 4. Today is the 19th, right? May 19th? Yeah? 15, 19, 19. It was announced that there will also be a new add-on, and we'll do a release stream for that as well. That will come out sometime in mid-June. It's about the topic of magic. Tosh, thanks for your 12-month sub and 1 year with us. Greetings to Tosh. We can't move here now. On to the next round. I hope we don't get attacked. We could... That's a bit stupid. I'd like to explore this here, but here it's probably... Let's do this one first and take advantage of the fact that we're making such good progress here. Another enemy village, Matza. La.
Yes, but...
Right, you're not afraid at all. You're a totally fearless guy, right?
I'm totally fearless, but maybe we should actually invest a bit more in our military than we originally thought.
Until then, we have 0 troops, maybe more in the future. I'm in favor of introducing conscription and recruiting troops in the chat, Matze.
Yes, absolutely. Feel free to sign up if you want to join WB and me.
I'll drive away the enemy and the sand from your feet.
We've unlocked our unique civics tree. Let's take a look at it right away. We've received policy cards. We can take the first one. This is the general overview. 10 more rounds, then we'll have a festival. These are the policy cards. Crisis happens later. So there are many improvements and changes in the UI, but it still feels a bit console-like, Matze. I don't think that's gonna change anytime soon. That's just not intended, right?
Well, it also has to work on consoles. That's just how it is, but maybe you've noticed this window has already been significantly reworked. You no longer have those really huge buttons. Now there are 2 columns because the game now distinguishes between policies and traditions. You can no longer assign every card everywhere. We know this a bit from Civ 6. There the cards had colors and you could only assign them if they matched. Now, it's the case that there are only very few slots where you can put both in. And you get many slots through the celebrations, where you can put in the normal policy cards, like the ones we've just unlocked. And you can also see now, this is new, this green dot. Whenever we unlock new cards, it shows what's been newly added. That wasn't there before either.
Those are the two green dots. Those are the two new ones. At the moment, we have the same amount of scientific and cultural research. That means it's basically the same either way. I would go with the palace, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go with +2 culture. Thanks for the gifted subscription from an anonymous gifter. A buggy has been gifted. Let's move on to the next one. We choose our civic. It will be unlocked with this culture point, and we could go for mysticism because then we would unlock our first pantheon. That's also the advantage of having just invested in the palace, that we get the pantheons faster here, because it keeps going. First come, first served.
We can also take a look at the Inca-specific civic tree now. Yes.
I'd like to take a look at that after we've done the thing with the pantheon. We're definitely doing that first, Matze, right?
All right, then let's do that.
Would you have done it differently?
So in my view, choosing the first civic is one of the most difficult decisions we can make, because the first research, that's actually our origin. We're not in our golden age right now. This is very specific. For the Inca, it's exactly in this ancient era. And that can but doesn't have to be a game changer to research in a similar era. Here we would get adjacency bonus for a food building, and we can move faster over rough terrain. It's especially important early on to explore quickly. If we say we want to do that in 16 turns, that would be cooler. Otherwise, of course, the Pantheon for combat, for surfing. And if we were going for a military approach now and wanted a quick, well, a general, then discipline would be the right choice. So there are a lot of considerations to make.
So I'm still in favor of getting the Pantheon, so we don't get annoyed if others snatch the cool ones away from us. I'm still a Civ 6 traditionalist. Thanks again to the person gifting a sub in the chat. BM received a gift. Thanks to Anders Friedrich for the 23rd high. Greetings to you. Yes, Civ 4 again. The form of government we choose, 3 alternatives. And so I just argued why we need a lot of culture. That's why we should choose the classical republic. Nevertheless, I am in favor of despotism, because the second bonus of the classical republic, we won't even use it at first, which is that you get more production for building wonders. And down below, we're planning to build a warrior soon anyway. And probably right now as well, and then I would combine that with the science card. Or we say we'll go into oligarchy in case we finish building the building. Construction here will take 5 more turns. After that, a warrior. Half the time building, half the time producing units. Both can be justified.
We don't get the bonus now, we just unlock the options for the next celebration in 10 hours, in 10 turns, and then for 10 turns we can have one of the 2 options. I find the oligarchy more attractive for us because we could actually benefit from both advantages we can choose at any time, and playing as the Inca, or rather Pachacuti Pachacutec, can also turn food into production for our city.
And that's why you're in favor of the oligarchy?
That's why I'm in favor of the oligarchy, because it fits together so nicely, because it just works so well. It fits, just like people say.
Exactly, that's what people say in Gamer German. It fits. I think that's a plausible story. I think it's okay. So, despotism had, in my opinion, the cool idea that you can really go full throttle from time to time if you want to pump out infantry. But I find the reasoning understandable that we want to play consistently, meaning internally consistent. And if we have a food bonus like that, we can boost it even further with this. That's something you can do. That way we can go ashore here, yes. Do we need to go ashore now, or can we move one more tile first? You don't know either, right? We'll likely move into the zone of control, so we'll stay here for now. And a negative event. Give up 50 gold and get the earliest available technology, or receive 50 gold then plus 7 gold. That means we could spend about 7.5 times 1 turn's yield 50 gold. What would be the earliest tech we could get? It would be mysticism. Then we'd have our pantheon immediately. Wait, that's the wrong panther.
Yes.
That would be the earliest tech. Sailing or animal husbandry. I actually think that's okay, Matze.
So we save 10 rounds of research this way, and neither of them is a dead-end technology, and we're definitely going to want to research both. It moves us forward. So I would also go for the research.
Research as well. Greetings to Vic. Please send my regards. Shout out to Vic, who always shows a lot of cool current strategy games on his channel. He's also a professional editor at PC Games. We know each other personally as well. At the last Gamescom, we had a lot of chats together, several times. Please give a shout out to Vic. We're currently showing the new update for Civilization 7, which came out today and turned Civ upside down. So discovery means selecting discovery. We're in. Into the earliest research, and it's writing, Matze.
But the writing controls him.
Cool. Now we could build a library.
Awesome, very nice.
Was that really the earliest tech?
So interestingly, that could be a translation thing.
Look what's going on here.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't understand that at all.
It might be a bug. Maybe we were meant to get sailing, but the game gave us writing instead. We noticed there were 11 turns for writing and 10 for sailing and animal husbandry. I'm not complaining, but I also can't understand it.
I think I'll just go with exploiting the bug. There's only one reason to accept it, or maybe two reasons. The first reason is that you have to accept it, otherwise you won't get anywhere, right? Well, we could also go for animal husbandry. But the second reason is, if we exploit the bug, who knows if the AI isn't doing it too?
That's exactly how it is.
Then let's take sailing next. But we're not seeing it right now either. Is sailing coming up again now? There it is. We have received sailing. Will be completed in 0 turns. It says here that sailing has been unlocked.
I don't think we should have researched writing. That wasn't intended by the game.
That was kind of a major bug. A strong beam. And we're running. Yeah, there's one coming from the left too. It actually makes more sense for us to run in different directions. Still, I'd say, yeah, let's run back. The colleague down here can get that too. Right?
Or the AI?
Good argument. That means you're the kind of guy who says, I don't want anyone to have it. Even if it's actually a disadvantage for me, I'll still go for it.
The key point is the AI doesn't get it.
Yeah. I think I'm the more generous type. And you Yeah, you do have a certain reputation. Well, I don't think I'm being too forward if I say you have a reputation for being someone who puts a lot of value on material benefits. In games, right? That's possible.
Yes.
Even more happiness or even more culture? I would say, let's take the 60 culture, that's 5 turns worth of yields toward a pantheon, and let's just let it be, and then just hold on for a moment.
Yeah, I agree. So we said we want to get the pantheon now because we want to be the first ones, so we have the maximum selection. And with that, we can almost cut it down to 50, not quite 50%, but it's a great bonus.
60 culture, we're heading towards mysticism. One more turn.
The lovely breeze was blowing. The white foam was flying. The furrow followed freely. We were the first to ever break into the silent sea.
Lovely words. Thanks to Vic for gifting a sub. And we can now embark in coastal waters. We can build the ancient harbor. If we want it that way, let's take the next technology. Writing 2 would bring a codex. Irrigation raises the settlement limit, but we still haven't built a settler. Not a single one. Yes, but that's not possible yet. It starts at 5 citizens. That works in 1 turn. We might move that up as well. Settlement limit, 1 out of 3 settlements. I'm starting to lean toward the slinger. What do you think about that?
So I also think it's a good idea to invest a bit more in defense or to create space for our settler. That's why animal husbandry and slinger, yes.
Are you more of a slinger type or an archer type, Matze? As a person, I mean...
Yeah, as a person, I'd say more of an archer. As a slinger, you have to get closer. I feel like I'm not that good with a sling and I don't always hit the target. That's why I'm more into the precise stuff. Yeah, exactly. From way in the back with an army of infantry units in front of me to protect me. And from way back there, I shoot right into the white of the enemy's eye.
So before we heal, let's first go and scout around. Or pardon me, let's search first. That was really worth it, not where are our enemies. Or are we alone on the map? That would be funny.
It's possible. I mean, then we could really expand a lot. I think we also discovered a ruin in the southwest with our spearmen. Now in the northwest of Cusco, above Theoma, north of Theoma.
That's right, there's one. Indeed, we'll move over there with that guy. But he's taking a long time for that. We can grow our city to 5 citizens and focus more on production. Look down here, there's also one more happiness. At the moment we only have +6 happiness. That would be a decent growth percentage-wise, so let's go ahead and choose that. Then we'll get the jade, which we don't need. I think quarries benefit from the brickworks, right?
Exactly.
That would be ideal, and we'd gain another production point afterward as well. So now the question is, do we go through with it or do we prioritize the settler? And I would say, let's do it after the settler.
Yeah, we still have to consider whether we've gotten far enough to know which direction we want to send the settler without him getting attacked right away.
Yeah, I could imagine settling down here with him. Let's turn on the settler lens. There's a small spot down here, although it's really cramped together. There are enemies nearby back here, so we should at least send a slinger along that can be stationed in the city. That would be enough so that before settling on the coast, he can grab resources. You can do that, right?
Yes, you can do that. Sadly, there aren't any mountains there, which we, as the Inca, love. But I'd say a city on the coast for trade or to set out to sea from there could definitely be okay.
Then I would say that before the settlers, we should get a slinger or a warrior. The tech will be researched in 8 turns. But in the meantime, since we're at war, I'd go with a slinger. We can build the settler and then still add the slinger to the build queue later and move it up. That was intentional, the camels stay outside. We might even have more gold if we don't use the 10% bonus from Jade in the city, plus 10%. Let's observe, right now we have +7 gold, and if we take them out and assign them here, we have +8. If we don't use the gold resource, that's min-maxing, because here it gives a base yield of +1, 1 gold, and also a happiness point. Nat Baumann suggests not. To settle to the east, yes, we also have that. That works just as well. So settle here or settle up front here. We have those, but we still need some map knowledge here. I would do it the other way around. I would say, with this one, we move right over here and explore everything. No, we're doing this one. Please hold this one. One more turn. There are more mountains. Good argument. Would you settle in the west, Matze, or would you still follow Bauman and say, hey, we're the mountain friends, we'll settle up here on a hunch? The problem was, I still say, we don't have enough knowledge of the map.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. So if we have the settler and we don't know for sure yet that we'll arrive safely and also have a good spot, I would first settle the town in the west on the coast so that we already have a quick advantage. Because the sooner we have a new town, the sooner we benefit from it, and then we can still focus on the mountains a bit later.
We can't get through here smoothly, so now I'll take this one to explore here. We can return it if we change our minds. There's going to be a stupid attack right away. Look, do I have the quick combat on? Did you see that?
Yeah, that seemed really fast. Maybe it's still on.
Let's fix that. Why? Why do I have the quick combat on? That must be from the last game where we had a flood of units everywhere. Do you see it? I still see quick movements. I don't see any quick comb at all.
Then it was actually normal for the game to say, okay, that just happened during the turn change. That was a quick attack.
Have you ever seen that before?
I've seen it before. I've also seen it at this speed. It's just that with all the different test versions we've had, I can't remember in which context it was.
I'd say we'll use that to copy from... How many movement points does he have here? Probably 2, right? Yeah, the second one is the downfall. I'm not listening to you.
He can't run over such rough terrain and through the woods. He gets stopped by it. Our spearman doesn't get stopped by it.
Run around the top. And again back here. Is the settler under construction? Our slinger will only be finished in 4 turns. Then the settler would also be done. I'll go ahead and start with the early warrior now. I'm not comfortable with that right now, Matze.
Yeah, I can understand that. WB is getting really nervous.
Yeah, indeed. If we're threatened, we have to run too. The best way for us to escape is by running through the forest. I'll go with him this way to the left. With this one here.
The earth is held by the mountains so that it does not sway on the waters.
Very nice. Vichen, what is that, Matze? My patchy education is completely failing me right now.
Yeah, me too. I can't tell you where this pretty rock formation, this mountain can be found. But it looks great, especially with the little bird flying around there. Really great.
Does any of you know, or can one of you use Google and find out what Wichern is? I wouldn't even know what language that is. In the chat they say it's a Bulgarian natural wonder. We've unlocked Iceland, a mountain in Bulgaria. I see. Guys, please spell Bulgaria correctly. Bulgaria is spelled with double L. This is the homeland of the Holy Bull and the great legends of mythology. They come from Bulgaria. Some people always spell Bulgaria with one L, which is incorrect. Education matters for educational TV at WB. You're always welcome. Bulgaria with double L. Let's hit with that now. Let's turn right here. Not all around like that. Everyone is attacking us. We met a new civ, huh? And what is it?
We have met one. Met a new one. We met a civ, met... In any case, I do, very much.
We have met Ibn Battuta. The path of the traveler is kind to us, a friendly greeting. So we're actually saving up for a city-state right now. You can say either one, you can give a neutral greeting, or you can just say a friendly greeting. Both can be justified. What would you do, Matze?
I'm a friend of friends. I would give a friendly greeting, and with the remaining 170 influence, I would also send a friendly greeting to one of the city-states and take control of it as well.
Yeah, that's very loving. That's you, me. I'll just say it openly. Over the years, you've really become a softie. A friendly greeting. I remember you being much more villainous. Did something happen in your private life that made you a bit more loving and nicer to other people now? Do you have a pet? Yes. Well, besides that.
Actually, it's really the Practicob's fault because it really made me feel guilty. Or rather, it looks at me with those big calf eyes whenever I act a little less nice. And yeah, it's like with big cat pictures. How can you still go around being mean and unfriendly in the world after seeing that?
We can open our borders, but at first we're not offering anything. They should offer us something. We're leaving here again. However, we haven't found the capital city. We don't know where it is. Right now, the capital city isn't being shown to us.
I think the location actually isn't being shown. Okay.
Exactly the opposite.
Sometimes it's like this, sometimes like that, depending on where you meet.
The volcano, pretty.
Great area with a volcano, with mountains. So settling there, I don't think that's bad at all. I actually find it quite attractive because there's also the natural wonder right next door, yeah. So maybe send a not so friendly greeting to that city-state down south that's blocking everything, and then send the settler there. I'll keep that in mind.
More happiness and more culture every time a natural disaster grants you fertility in this era and the natural disasters are taken care of. Then there's the nearby volcano. I suspect it's no coincidence that there's a volcano near the natural wonder, so you can take advantage of it. Yeah, let's get out of here. There's the guy we met. That means one more round and our little town is really slowly developing. What's our points compared to the others? We're on equal footing, Matze. Look up there on the right.
Both have a city and are very similar in terms of values, so nothing has been decided yet and it remains exciting.
I find that amazing because we're playing on a difficulty level where the AI already has decent bonuses, so it's a bit of a surprise. 170 Influence North Berman is immediately in the chat and says WB and Matze Mesa Verde please, but you already mentioned it. And we want to make friends with them here, or would you say we should rather befriend those who are hostile towards us, to pacify them?
Yes, that's a really interesting decision, I have to say. Because if the city-states take away cool settlement spots from us and are already hostile towards us, then I'd rather say forget it, go to war and get rid of them. And then I'm not the soft wimp you were talking about anymore. But nobody is taking Mesa Verde away from us. We could, because the AI also has to discover it and make contact with it first. I think it will take a while until our opponent gets there. However, we also won't get the benefits of that status so quickly. And the third thing we have to consider is, if we spend the 170 influence now, it's often the case that the AI, 1 or 2 turns after making contact, it usually sends us a great offer where we need 60 influence to make it really special. Those are all the things I want to weigh up, dear WB, and you get to decide.
I think the last one is an extremely good reason. Let's wait 6 turns until we have 230. After that, I would actually go for Mesa Verde. Because I'll get the technological bonus early. That's a peaceful city-state. It will follow you quickly and unlock some cool bonus, which I would like to have. Green, I think, are those expansionists, or are they diplomats?
Those are the expansionists, yes, exactly. You can also get settlers quickly from one of the new suzerain bonuses, at least in the test version. Of course, I can't guarantee that this hasn't changed by now, but there were also some very exciting options. But we'll have to wait twice as long to get them because with Mesa Verde it's 15 turns, and with the other two city-states we'd have to wait 30 turns unless we invest additional influence.
That would speed me up. Alright, we'll definitely wait 6 turns, that's clear.